Welcome in to another edition of Sheriff Talk here on KWN TV. Welcome to every one of you watching. We appreciate you so much, week in and week out. Got Marion County Sheriff Bo Burnett with us, and of course, then Dade County Sheriff Ray Cross. And we've got one special guest that is not on camera yet, but we do have public information. You got many hats there, Payne.
I do.
I don't know how many hats you got, but today. You got another officer that we can't actually see yet, and hopefully we'll be able to get her over
whenever
here.
you get ready, she's ready. But when I do, I'll have to get her. She'll have to come up on the table.
Yeah, we're talking about K9 Officer
Daisy.
Daisy is here with us, and that sounds like such a laid back and nice name, Daisy.
Yeah, she. I don't know that I describe her as laid back because she's one of the most highest driven dogs. She's got a really high drive, which makes her so good at what she does. But as far as personality, she pretty much loves everybody. Now, that can change, with a.
It depends on what you're. Right, exactly.
But she's very, very good with people.
Very good, very good. Well, we look forward to meeting Daisy on the program. This is the first time, I believe, in a long time that we've actually had a dog. And Daisy is trained in several different areas of law enforcement.
Yeah, she is. She's what you would call a multi-purpose or dual purpose. She can track offenders, which we might, I guess, soon we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But she's a tracking dog, she's a narcotics dog, and she can bite. So, all right.
The last part caught my attention.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That biting part. I'm scared of them little ankle biters, ain't you?
Well, yeah, them little chihuahuas can do a lot of damage too, can't they?
They always get you right here on the back of the foot, I know all y'all been the same thing, been to houses, and people say, "Oh, he won't bite," and he's sitting there just growling at you.
Yeah.
He won't bite. But you know what happens?
Yeah, they'll come up right behind you, and
it's always when you're walking away. They grab back the ankles.
That's right. They feel real big.
Little ankle biters.
But, sorry, if you own Chihuahuas, you probably know what we're talking about actually, for sure. So we look forward to meeting Daisy here. We may bring Daisy on the next segment. She is kind of relaxed over there beside you.
She is. Yeah,
we'll get her up where everybody can see her in just a few minutes. Well, I'll start with you, Sheriff. How's it been going here in the last week?
Well, we were busy last week. Didn't get much news coverage. We had an incident in Squatchy. It's a little town between Jasper and Whitwell. Officer called there Thursday morning. Actually had a manhunt for a guy, and I didn't know about this dog. We got one out of Hamilton County, but of course it was extremely hot that day, and what most people don't realize, dogs can't go about half an hour, 40 minutes.
Yeah, and then they get real winded.
They get weak quick, but they came over and helped us and tracked him and lost him, and then later on that night he returned to the scene of crime, got into it with us, and actually got shot. Was transported to Erlanger, and TBI come in and worked shooting, and once he got discharged from Erlanger, then we had active warrants on him. So this man's in jail, and the investigation's still ongoing. TBI probably presented to the grand jury, so we may have some indictments sometime in June. But I think it's just disagreement over rental property, and then just escalated. It got out of hand. So
yeah, this time of year
I was probably out 16 hours from Thursday morning. I got home about 1 o'clock Friday morning. So. How's the job, ain't sure?
Makes for a long day,
don't it?
Sheriff.
Well, this time of year, especially when you're out and you're going through briars, and you get all
we was in a real thick area. I had one officer had to go to ER. He got eat up with poison oak. I've never seen nobody and then got into a yellow jacket's nest. You get out here in these old, especially hot. I worry about snakes.
Yeah, I was going to say, not to mention snakes.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Yesterday on that track we did, we were walking up a mostly dry creek bed, and the whole time I kept thinking, every time we come to water, I was thinking, man, I'm going to get eat up by a snake somewhere. But that's why I got hurt.
If I seen a snake, I'd pass that dog good.
Pretty quick.
I'm scared of it.
That dog would just have to keep up.
What
If
the
it's a
old boy
snake.
say, I'm scared of 4 kinds of snakes, big and little and dead and alive.
I'll second that emotion right there. I for sure.
You know, I've worked with officers in the past. I worked with an officer in Jasper, and then if he seen a snake run across the road, he'd jump out and run and get it, go down the ditch. And I said, "You're more of a man than I am."
I'm telling you,
cannot handle
I was reading a news report out of the Huntsville area this morning, and firefighters were battling. Some of the firefighters were battling a house fire that had snakes in it, and they were showing some of the snakes where they were in there with their hoses. The snakes were slithering
Well,
on.
the best thing on that, just let that house burn. You know, if the snakes are in there.
There's a guy 3 or 4 summers ago called me one morning, and his dad had a big old metal garage that had been abandoned, been set back there empty in the woods for years. And he went back there, and when he opened the door, he heard rattlesnakes. Well, he called and said, "You need to send the officers up here," said, to go in there and get them rattlesnakes. I said, "Buddy, I don't pay them guys that kind of money." What I need to do, and I said, "Close the door and don't worry about them, I guess." I said, "Y'all not using it, are you?" He said, "No," but I thought, he actually called one of me send officers up there to go in there and get rattlesnakes out of the garage. Hell, nothing scared me worse than a rattlesnake or copperhead.
Give him a number to Terminex or Cook's Pest
Yeah,
Control.
or
somebody.
somebody. I'll have an
I ain't
officer
gonna have
stand
him go-
outside and not let nobody in, but he ain't going in to get
I
nobody.
ain't gonna send them in there to do something I wouldn't do. And I'm not gonna go in there and. Well, he talked to his 4 or 5 in there. Gave me cold chills.
I heard that. You're watching Sheriff Talk here on KWN TV. We're going to take our first break. When we come back, we're going to try to get Daisy over here in between the sheriff and Officer Payne. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Limon's Mexican Restaurant in Henniger, Alabama at 50 Lloyd Fry Drive, where you can enjoy karaoke on Thursday nights at 6 and lunch specials every day. Catering's available, and how about delivery? Yep, with a minimum of 5 orders, Limon's can deliver to you. Happy hour is Monday through Friday from 2 till 5. And come enjoy their newly constructed bar, Limon's Mexican Restaurant, with 2 locations in Henniger and in Crossville. Call 256-657-3999. Limon's Mexican Restaurant.
Can you gig it? Oh, yes, you can. We know you've been waiting for a long time, and now Tennessee Valley Net is bringing it to you. Gigabit internet service now available in certain areas of Dade County. Not just fast, super fast internet service now available from Tennessee Valley Net. People are talking, I mean really smiling, about gig speed internet available in limited areas from Tennessee Valley Net. Call today at 706-657-4367 or log on at tvn.net and see if gig speed is available where you are. We know you'll gig it from Tennessee Valley Net.
Touchdown! Oh, did you see that? Whoa, we scored? Yeah, we scored going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine.
But I need that back.
No.
Kevin!
Delivering top quality primary health care locally. We are Northeast Alabama Health Services. With 7 locations, there's one near you. Scottsboro, Section, North Sand Mountain and Higdon, Skyline, Woodville, Fife, and Fort Payne. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, and of course your private insurance. If you're unemployed, low income, or have a high copay or deductible, you may also qualify for a reduced rate office visit as low as $16. Ask about our free medication program, and ladies, you may qualify for a free or reduced rate mammogram. Dental referrals for our patients with tooth removal and fillings for only $15. Putting your health concerns first, we're Northeast Alabama Health Services. Cervical cancer screenings now available at Northeast Alabama Health Services.
Hello folks, my name is Richard Archer, General Manager here at Landers McClarty Ford. Whether you're looking for new or used, we can satisfy your vehicle needs at 1916 Glen Boulevard here in beautiful Fort Payne, Alabama.
Right now, get up to 0% for 60 months in customer cash savings up to $3,500 on the 2019 Ford Fusion with EcoBoost. Or enjoy up to $2,000 customer cash savings along with 0% APR for 72 months on the 2019 Ford F-150 Lariat. And military and first responders save an additional $1,000 off MSRP. With approved credit, see dealer for details and additional fees.
Landers McClarty Ford, your hometown dealer.
Back to Sheriff Talk here on KWN TV. We're going to try to show you Daisy. Daisy's a little excited. She's probably got one gear when you're around. She's wide open.
She is. Yeah, that's her, Daisy.
And we're going to try to look. There is Daisy. There's Daisy. Very good. Very good.
That's her.
Now, she's been with the Sheriff's Department how long?
She's been with us about a year and a half. We got her. We were her first assignment. We got her from K9 Dog Center down in off Cliven. We got her from K9 Dog Center down in Pine Mountain, Georgia. A gentleman down there named Dondy Hydrick. He trains dogs. He trained for the military for years. He's really good at what he does. And she's a 3-year-old Belgian Malinois. She come from.
I'm glad I don't have to say that.
Yeah, Belgian Malinois. Yeah, she come from Belgium. That's where she's got her passport, and that's where she was born. Where she took some of her training, and then she came to K9 Dog Center to get the rest of her training. And I've had her for about a year. The first handler had her for about 6 months.
Now, Daisy is a multi-purpose dog.
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about what that means.
Daisy is trained to detect narcotics, whether it be on traffic stops or in buildings or in articles, anything like that. She's also trained for tracking, which is, like I said, we got to use her yesterday for that, and she done a real good job. And also apprehension, which means that if given the right command, she can take off running and latch onto somebody and not turn loose until I tell her to. But that's what you call a dual purpose or patrol dog. But that's all her training. She's real good at everything. She loves people, so biting's not her favorite thing to do, but she will do it, and she does it good. But narcotics and tracking are her two strong suits.
Evan, let me interject something here. I know we had a couple of officers at a restaurant eating the other day, and a citizen come up and said, why are your vehicles out there running? Because, you're wasting gas out there. Well, we got these dogs in some of these K9 cars. These dogs have to stay cool. And
Sure, absolutely.
Not to mention all the equipment we have in them as far as computers. We got thousands of dollars worth of computer stuff inside these cars. Being the summer, if you see these cars running, they're keeping the air on inside these cars to keep this computer stuff and the dogs comfortable and protected. So that's why if you see these cars running, that's why they're running.
All right, well, good deal. All right, we'll show her one more time, and we'll take a break and let.
Good girl.
She is a beautiful, beautiful dog. So this dog is from Belgium.
Yep.
Wow.
Is.
Beautiful, beautiful
she's
dog.
Wide open all the time.
I heard that. Well, we're going to take another break, and we'll come back. We'll talk about Daisy some more, and we'll get Sheriff Bo Burnett back on with us here. Stay with us on KWN Sheriff Talk.
Have lunch or dinner at Guthrie's, home of the original Golden Fried Chicken Finger and the best chicken finger sauce in the world. Guthrie's can help you plan your family's meals or get-togethers with bucket specials every Tuesday, those delicious wings on Wednesday, and platters every day of the week. Plus, get sweet tea by the gallon. Remember, Guthrie's has a party room for small gatherings, too. Guthrie's, Highway 136 West in Trenton, home of those Golden Fried Chicken Fingers and the best chicken finger sauce in the world.
Guthrie's, no fast food, good food fast.
Georgia Northwestern Technical College is now accepting applications for classes. We offer programs in business, health, industrial, and public service at 6 campus locations with financial aid options as well. Take day, evening, or online classes to get your degree, diploma, or certificate. Apply now. Drop by one of our campuses today or check us out at gntc.edu. Georgia Northwestern Technical College. Get focused. Get hired.
The Moore family name has built a legacy of trust, compassion, and peace of mind by standing with families during time of loss. Now in our 70th year, the Moore family commitment grows even stronger, from affordable, traditional services to cremation. Our experienced staff stands ready to follow through on you and your family's wishes. Since 1945, the Moore family of funeral homes, North Sand Mountain and Trenton, always dedicated to those we serve.
150 over 90.
180 over 111.
160 over 110. I had a stroke.
This is what high blood pressure looks like. You might not feel its symptoms, but the results from a stroke are far from invisible or silent. If you've come off your treatment plan, get back on it or talk with your doctor to create an exercise, diet, and medication plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
If I would have followed a treatment plan, I would not be in this situation.
Tennessee Valley Net, your local provider of fiber optic high-speed internet, TV with over 200 digital channels available, and phone service with lots of extras. Fiber optics from TVN is expanding to many areas. Call and see if TVN is available in your area. 706-657-4367 or log on at tvn.net today. Bundle and save on fiber optic high-speed internet, digital TV, and phone service, all from Tennessee Valley Net. 706-657-4367. Online at tvn.net.
Back now to Sheriff Talk here on KWN TV. Officer Daisy. Officer Daisy.
Works cheap, don't she?
Well, just all the food, and normally a lot of the food's donated.
It is, yeah. We got some sponsors that donate.
A lot of those dogs are taught commands in foreign other languages.
Usually in German.
German. That's what we had a drug dog back a few years ago, and Keith was handling it, and he'd get him do something, and I thought, what's he saying? And he said, well, they train him in language that most people don't understand, and usually, like the sheriff said, it's German language. So
yesterday we had an incident that happened. We been looking for a runaway juvenile that actually has been missing since Friday. Got a tip on where he might be, so we went to the area, and as I pulled in my truck, one of them seen my truck, and the young juvenile took off running. So I called
him down?
No, I didn't, but I called Chad, and Chad came out with Daisy, and we finally got a track on him and found him, and finally got him apprehended and arrested.
Cody's going to be on you hitting the
Hitting it again. I got a habit of doing that. Sorry, Cody.
Cody's going to be out here in a minute.
So we arrested 4 other juveniles with him, and the one that ran away is in. We had another female that was there too that ran. She was a runaway too. So we caught 2 runaways yesterday.
Were they from here, runaways?
Yes.
So they were local.
Yeah,
if you
the
will,
mother
runaways.
and the grandmother came to my office yesterday, just hysterical, trying to find him, and we did. And then the female that was there yesterday, she was a runaway also. So 2 other boys were there also, and they've been charged with obstruction. So juvenile court will be busy Thursday. And we've sent the one boy that ran away is in YDC right now, Dalton.
Yeah, and that said, hopefully everything can.
Juvenile court, Marion County is getting bigger than Sessions Court. I mean, you go out there on Monday, there's not a parking space. They have juvenile court out there by our impound lot, and they've got a judge and 3 full-time employees, and you can go by there Monday morning about 10 o'clock, and that parking lot is packed.
This boy that ran away had just been in front of the judge last week and for not going to school, and the judge, he was laying in bed, and the judge told him he's going to get out of bed and start going to school, or he's going to, send him to YDC. Well, yesterday was a straw that broke the camel's back, as you would say. So he's going back in front of the judge Thursday. It's not going to be a good day for him.
Well, it was good that everybody's safe. I mean, obviously that's y'all's number one goal is to return everybody safely to wherever they're at, and then of course they'll have to take their punishment, I guess, that the judge hands out. For the charges that have been brought up. So it was a good thing to be able to have the tracking dog, because without it,
probably would never found him. I mean, we would have found him eventually, but yesterday was quick apprehension because of Daisy. Chad got scratched. I don't know if you've seen his arms. He got cut up pretty bad.
Well, he'll be back. We're going to show that when we come back on, because that's one of the first thing I noticed. The officer has to. I mean, y'all have to go through a lot. I don't think people fully understand that.
Well, Chad worked all day yesterday. He come in before sunrise yesterday, and then I had to call him back in last night. And Chad just loves that. He's dedicated to it. So he went through all those big briars and got his arms cut up pretty bad. So.
When we come back, we're going to take another quick break and get Officer Payne, Sergeant Payne, back with us here in just a few minutes. I want to ask you, Georgia, just over the last, I think about 3 years ago, upped the canine officer law, which now makes it a felony. We're going to talk about that if anybody harms an officer, canine officer. We'll take another break and get Sergeant Payne back with us. Stay with us as Sheriff Talk continues. A small bank with big service. Citizens Bank and Trust, offering a wide range of services, including online banking. Pay your bills, manage your account anytime, 24 hours a day. Your account balance is only a phone call away as well at 657-1234. Or visit our convenient locations. Lookout Mountain, Georgia, Higdon, Alabama, or our main branch on Highway 11 in Trenton. Citizens Bank and Trust, 657-5678. A community bank that believes in the community. Citizens Bank and Trust. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When you need a licensed plumber, call Stacy Ledwell and the staff at Mr. Rooter in Scottsboro. Mr. Rooter provides your home or business with advanced solutions using high-tech equipment. Our commitment to customer satisfaction shines through in our personalized service. When you schedule an appointment, our professionals will dedicate time to explain the work that has to be done. Our staff will give you upfront pricing, so you'll know exactly what's involved before any work begins. We even pump septic tanks and do new construction on houses. Fully licensed, bonded, and insured, Mr. Rooter in Scottsboro. Call Stacy Ledwell today to set up an appointment at 256-574-4710.
Gigabit Internet residential service is now available to customers of the North Alabama Electric Co-op with NAEC Fiber in Jackson and Marshall County. Residential gig service is now available for only $79.95. Call today to have your gig service installed at 256-437-5000. High-speed fiber residential gig internet service now available to customers of the North Alabama Electric Co-op with NAEC Fiber. Business and commercial customers can get gig service too. Call for pricing 256-437-5000. Gig service from North Alabama Electric Co-op. 256-437-5000.
At Mountain View Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, we work hard to be the best. Dedication, passion, that's what it takes to be the #1 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealer in the Tennessee Valley. And our great deals don't hurt either. Like $15,000 in total savings on the 2019 Ram 1500 or $8,000 in total savings on the 2019 Jeep Cherokee. So hurry into your #1 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealer in the Tennessee Valley. Mountain View Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. #1 for a reason.
Come hungry and leave satisfied at Cloud's Pizza, Highway 71 in Higdon. Cloud's Pizza uses only the freshest ingredients, and we hand toss our own pizza dough. Our pizzas are made from scratch when you order, so they're always fresh. And don't forget about our famous Sand Mountain cheese sticks. You can eat from the daily buffet or try a mouth-watering hamburger or cheeseburger. Come see your friends at Cloud's Pizza, Highway 71 in Higdon, and never leave hungry. Call ahead at 597-3100 for Cloud's Pizza. Visit us on Facebook at Cloud's Pizza and more.
Come see us at Cloud's Pizza.
Welcome back to Sheriff Talk here on KWN TV, and welcome back to Sergeant Payne. Do you call it yourself a caretaker of the dog, or what?
Just canine officer, canine handler.
Handler.
Yeah,
okay, that would be
used.
You were talking before we went off. You actually had to use Daisy yesterday.
Yeah, that's right.
Now there is some things, especially the sheriff was just talking about having thick briars and stuff like. You have evidence of that.
I do.
I don't know if folks can see that.
I don't know if they can see that. They ought to be able to see that one pretty good. I don't know, the light's kind of taking it out, but yeah, those briars got me all over. We had a pretty good picture of that we took right after I was covered in the brush and my face was just blood red because it was so hot. And Daisy's she's a bit quicker than I am, so it's a struggle to keep up with her. But and it gets real hot when you're doing that, especially on hot days. But like I was telling you, I didn't even feel this stuff, when your adrenaline's pumping so high and you're just trucking through the woods. I always joke, I'm kind of scared running through the woods like that, especially with my size, because I'm afraid with me running through the woods, taking down trees and doing all that kind of stuff, somebody might think I'm Sasquatch and, try to, because I do quite fit that profile.
Yeah. To say, well, everything went good, but we got 3 911s of Sasquatch running through the woods,
That's
3
right.
calls. Well, I know that,
Been looking for him for years and found him in Dayton.
That's right. He's been here all the time. Well, I think it's, it's good to point out that, there's hazards to the job, maybe not, deadly hazards, but those things hurt. They probably hurt as much as, some other injuries sometimes.
It feels like a bad sunburn on both my arms. It's just, the scratches, I guess, from just the pain, but, that's part of the job, and I enjoyed doing it, and that's, it's something I've always wanted to do, and I'm just tickled pink to get to use it.
Well, Sergeant, you've worn many hats since you've been at the Sheriff's Department.
That's right.
You've been an officer of the schools. You've taught the CHAMPS program, public information officer, K-9 handler, sergeant. So you've done a lot in your career. How long have you been in law enforcement?
I've been in law enforcement for 11 years, I guess. 10 of those were spent at Rossville, and I've been here, well, I guess 12 years now, because I've been here for 2, so 10 and 2 makes 12.
Yeah,
Evan, Chad and I, his mother went to school together back years ago, probably the early 70s, and of course I didn't know Chad was not around back then, but we were like best friends in school. Him and his mother and her sister all went to school together, and her brother, and I've known that family for years and years. And I was very fortunate when Chad had interest to come to Dade County. Sid Adams from Rossville was not very happy that he came over here, but because he liked having Chad as anybody would, and we're just fortunate to have Chad here. And
Wait you've been in office long enough that people you went to school with, you start working with grandkids.
Yeah, that's right.
That's when you know you been there a long time.
Well, that's a good testament, though. I mean, that you've been able to stay there that long, and you got their grandkids now working.
I mean, I have a lot of officers that I graduated with their dad or mom, or known them all my life, and
those type of officers where I think that grew up here in North Georgia or grew up in Marion County or whatever, it takes they're a little bit more connected, and I think they take a little bit more pride. Not that anybody would, but I think there's a little bit more pride of protecting the area you grew up in.
Yeah.
For sure.
Do you recall about a year ago, I guess, the gentleman that stole the truck and ended up breaking down in one of the lieutenant's yards, and he fell off the side of the mountain. Daisy was used. That was before I had her as a handler, but Daisy was used that night to track that gentleman, and everybody thought
he's from like Dayton, Tennessee.
He
or
was,
somewhere?
yeah, he
Okay.
wasn't from around here. But she tracked him all around and finally tracked him to the edge of the mountain. And everybody, and then she just stopped. Because we didn't know it at the time. He had went over the side of the mountain. But everybody thought she was crazy, and then it ended up, after we talked to the guy, because I talked to him afterwards too, I said, exactly where did you run? And everywhere he ran and where he went off the side of the mountain is exactly where Daisy took us to, but she's smart enough to know she's not going to jump off the side of the mountain after somebody.
Is she a passive alert or aggressive alert on drugs?
Passive. Oh, yeah, passive. Yeah, she's very passive.
There's two different, I mean, we won't go into it, but I mean, if you have a dog searching for drugs, when it gets that smell, it'll let you know it by
one or two ways.
Down, usually sitting down. Of course, a lot of complaints I've had when we've had drug dogs in the past. Somebody said, "Well, he or she's getting my car up or something." So that's where you really need a passive alert.
Yeah, I've
usually
seen
just sit down and give you a look.
And that's what she does. Yeah, that's her indication. And I've seen some that and it's a real bad trait, but some of them they'll want to get to the drug, so they start pawing real hard, and that's what the sheriff's talking about clawing cars and stuff like that.
Actually, the reward is, once they find that, is to play with them, throw them a ball or something. You think it would be food or something like that, but it's just being reward them by throwing them a ball out there and letting them run chase.
That's Daisy's.
That's reward for them.
Yeah, that's what I keep on me for Daisy, to reward her anytime she does anything.
Wow.
Not only are dogs good in crime prevention, they're also good in tracking like Alzheimer's patient that's lost in the woods, something like that. School searches, anything like that is very beneficial too.
I think school's out possibly Friday.
Friday and day.
Yeah, already had the graduation.
Yeah, had the graduation.
Yeah, we were.
And I'm sorry, go ahead, Sheriff.
No, I was gonna
Daisy's not our only K-9. We have another K-9, Rocco, that Sergeant York handles, and he's attached to the DTF right now. But Rocco's real good too. He's real disciplined. He's I haven't got the opportunity to see him track yet, but I have got the opportunity to see him detect narcotics, and he's really good too. And he's it's a benefit to have those animals. People don't understand what kind of work they do, and how hard they work and how hard the handlers work. Because it's a lot of, I didn't realize it until I got into it.
It's a lot of commitment for you as an officer.
It is.
Because, you're taking care of a dog, and probably more closely than you would if you just had a dog.
Oh, yeah, and I do. I'm a dog guy. I have had dogs all my life, but there's a certain amount of training we have to get every week, to keep up records for court. If she didn't detect narcotics, that we have to show a history of her successfully and unsuccessfully detecting narcotics, and it's a lot of work taking care of them, letting them out, washing them, everything that you don't imagine. But if you're a dog lover, then it's not really a job. It's much more a passion, and it's very rewarding for us, to see, because she's my partner. She's with me every day, and she's with me everywhere I go.
Speaking of, Evan, you brought up off camera a while ago, we were talking about an incident that happened in Walker County with Sheriff Wilson. Myself, Sheriff Schroeder was up there in their canine handler took a dog. We were hunting for a fugitive and went in, and he shot and killed the dog and shot the officer. Some of the shot hit him in the face. He survived, but the dog did not. And since then, Senator Mullis had a bill passed that now protects our canines, that if they injure a dog, it's a felony charge now, and they get up to 20 years in prison. So that's
that was Deputy Donnie Brown and K9 Tanja, and that law is coined Tanja's Law.
Right.
That's it's a pretty important piece of legislation in Georgia that makes it a little more severe when it's a police canine.
Well, it should be, because that is an officer. I mean, it's got a badge number. It don't verbally testify in court, but
right.
the
actions
of that officer testifies in court.
Of course, if you got a drug dog, you better have good records, because the dog will have to testify in court in a roundabout way, because if somebody contested on a motion or something, you're going to have to produce records that this dog has had a history of finding drugs and stuff. You have to do a lot of paperwork, don't
Absolutely.
You? People think
and training.
Like you say, like a lawyer will tell you, if it ain't written down, it didn't happen. So you got to have records.
That's right.
I've seen them get on the stand and have to show a jury, the records of the dog, how many cases he made, what training he's had. So just like anything else, you got to do a real good paper trail to keep him certified.
Well, I think it's a great law to be able to have, because obviously,
well, if a defense attorney was to get a drug dog in court and got him discertified or whatever, then he actually done with it, because you ain't gonna be able to go to court with him. So just reading, it's real important to keep that paperwork up.
Absolutely. Well, and also too, I mean, that dog that went into that, I think it was a trailer or a camper out on Lookout Mountain.
It was a camper.
Protected that officer's life. The officer there. Because even they got the pellets from the shotgun, but the canine officer died.
It did.
Protected it, because if the canine hadn't been there, the officer would have been first through the door.
And and I spoke to the coroner, Dwayne, over there. He and I were good friends at the time, and I spoke to him, and where Tanja got shot, which was right as soon as she breached the inside of the door, she got shot with a shotgun. But from where they found her, after because the camper had caught on fire or something, after that, where they found her, she had latched on to the guy, and he had drug her all the way till he exited it. So I mean, even after she was shot, she was still working. She was still, until she couldn't do it anymore, she was working, latched onto that guy, trying to apprehend him.
Wow, that's that is something. Well, I think the canines have over the years really become an intricate part of law enforcement. Obviously, you used one last week. You used one yesterday. They're used every day in vehicles with drug apprehension and all kinds of things. So that's a very good tool to have in your toolbox.
And I want to mention, K9 Daisy was purchased through donations. She was. All the money that went to purchase her, which, I mean, it's pretty expensive for a canine police dog. All the money that went towards her was all donated, and so it didn't cost the taxpayers a dime for us to get Daisy. And I believe it was also the same for Rocco. Is that right?
It was, but we didn't pay for either dog. Both of them were from donations, and also the food is donated also, so it really doesn't cost the county a dime for these dogs. We're fortunate in that way.
Well, look how much drugs you've been able to get off of the street.
Oh, absolutely.
Because of the detection.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be able to do that. So they've even though they didn't cost, they paid for themselves well over.
Yeah, absolutely.
With especially if you find a lot of drugs or happen to find money or confiscate a vehicle because of a traffic stop or something that can be forfeited or whatever, so they can actually.
And also,
help in law enforcement.
My first year in office, we had two of the dogs, Firo and I can't think of the other dog's name right offhand, but the first year when we had the drug interdiction team, they confiscated $30,000 with some drugs off the interstate, but with the use of, I think it's Firo at that time. So they've been instrumental throughout.
So actually, under law, if you stop a car and you suspect drugs, you can just walk the dog around the car.
Yes,
That's
it's called a free
air search. And I've seen dogs, especially searching parking lots at the high school for drugs. I seen a dog alert, got the student out there and let us look, and there's a little bit of a marijuana cigarette, about that much left in the ashtray. Window was up, hot day. I sat there going, surely that dog couldn't smell that, but he did. I've seen it. It's amazing how stout they can smell an odor.
You know, and just kind of elaborate on what a dog senses is. I mean, they're using them now where a seizure patient can have a dog that they say a dog can actually detect a seizure that's going to happen maybe 2 minutes before it happens.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know, that's amazing to me how they have the senses of knowing that something is already starting to happen inside their owner.
Yeah.
You know, that's...
I read one time where one of the best dogs that's used for detection of drugs is a poodle, but nobody wants to use it. Who wants to walk up carrying a poodle? You know, set it down.
Yeah, I've seen an episode of Duck Dynasty where they were out bird hunting or something, and the field, or one of them had a poodle for a hunting dog, and they were making fun of him with it.
Could you imagine walking in a big warehouse and walking up holding your poodle and setting him down?
Yeah. and you can't forget Trenton PD has Ivo too.
Right.
So that's a third dog that we have serving this county, and Ivo's really good at. I don't know what his capabilities are. I haven't been able to train with him much, but I know his narcotic detection is excellent. He's done a lot of work with that through the press releases I've seen through Trenton PD. So we're really fortunate.
Yeah, we have access. Chattanooga, Hampton County. I know I called Sheriff in Hampton County here a while back. Well, the guy that broke down on Brow Road that day, Daisy tracked him off the mountain. I called and asked for him. He just got 2 new red bones up there, and they were going to send them out also. So we have access to numerous canines if we need them.
Hampton County's got a lot of things to work with. When we called them last Thursday, they're good to help us. If anybody, any of them listening, great, thank you. But they sent a white van that they had it fixed up for drones, and they got drones that can do anything. And they run the drones, 2 drones for a couple of hours trying to help us find this guy. Right. But amazing there's no telling what they got invested in this.
When you or a loved one is facing
a missing guy on the North Emory County, and they use a drone for that.
Wow. How is before we go to our next break, Sheriff? How is the canine officer that was injured?
That's Rocco. He's back to work. He's back to work. I believe he's back to full duty. I know he was released for narcotics detection about a month ago.
I talked to Casey the other day, and he's got I don't know if it's scar tissue or what. It's kind of rubbing. It's irritating him a little bit. Every once in a while he'll hold his paw up. So they're looking at that, and they may have to do one more small surgery. But other than that, he's doing fine.
That's the one that jumped off the car.
Yes.
Yeah, they had the door was malfunctioning in it. I mean, they said on the way to they had to take him up to UTK eventually, and they said on the way up there the day after that happened that door popped 30 times on the way to UTK. They had to bungee cord it shut, and we're not. I mean, I don't know if they ever really figured out what happened with it, but it was just something one of those things that happens.
A dog is trained when the door flies open to jump. They don't.
Yeah, if I were to hit the button on mine right now, she'd be bouncing out of that car like a rocket, looking for me.
Well, it's it's coming to the rescue.
Oh yeah.
I mean, when you want her out, she's supposed to be coming to help you because somebody's not.
That's why we have the door poppers on the doors, because if the officer gets in trouble, if Chad gets in trouble, he can pop that button and open the door and release the dog. So.
Yeah, and the look on Daisy's face whenever she's coming after somebody, because I've done some training with other officers, and my dad has actually volunteered to do some sleeve work and training with her. All of them tell me the look in her eyes when she's coming at you is just plumb terrifying.
I seen that look.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the sheriff's seen it too.
Yeah, I put a sleeve on one day and she come at me. I seen that look.
Oh my goodness. Well, Sheriff, I know both of y'all got to go, and Sheriff O'Burnett's going to stay on for the last segment coming up. Want to say another outstanding law enforcement appreciation day that y'all put together, and the Optimist Club put together, along with the Fraternal Order of Police, and want to give a shout out to everybody involved putting that together. That was aired during Sheriff Talk last week.
Good Absolutely. Food too. I didn't know Sheriff Barnett was coming, and he showed up there, and I mentioned
we were doing the show, and Evan asked me if I want to go up. And I said,
but
that's
yeah,
what I said. It had good food.
Sure did. Optimist Club does a great job. Connie and Carlton, we thank them so much, and I'm fixing to go speak at their meeting here in a minute, so that's where we'll be. But just can't thank them. It's a great thing that they honor fallen officers' families that are there. They come from sometimes South Georgia, so we appreciate them. Very good ceremony.
Oh yeah, it's always a very very touching ceremony it brings back to the fact that, hey, this is not all not all wearing a uniform and feeling there's days that you don't feel good, like your arms are scratched up there. So anything else, Sheriff, before y'all have to depart on this next segment?
We just want everybody to have a good summer, be safe.
Memorial Day's coming up next weekend.
Graduation is going to be this Friday, so we want to congratulate all the seniors that are graduating this year and all the ones that are moving up to higher levels in school. Just congratulations to the kids and the parents and grandparents.
Historically, Memorial Day has been a bad day for wrecks and things, so please don't drink and drive. Be right. Consider that, because I've seen Memorial Days that were just absolutely wild that weekend. So I think the next Monday is actually. So usually, if we have trouble, usually it's on Sundays. So everybody's off that next day. So just control your alcohol.
Domestic calls up.
Domestic calls. Everything. Everything. I mean, I've seen them calm, and I've just seen them wide open. So you never know what to expect.
Should be a time of celebrating, not mourning.
That's
so we
true.
Want everybody to be safe.
That is true. Well, Sheriff and Sergeant, thanks for bringing Officer Daisy with us and being on the show. That's
absolutely.
That is cool. Hey, all right, stay with us. We're going to take a break, and Sheriff Burnett and I will be back after this.
Community Bank Marion Countyans will ever need at 402 North Cedar Avenue in South Pittsburgh, 4765 Main Street in Jasper, and at 14087 Highway 28 in Whitwell, providing the highest standard of customer services with a personal touch. Our associates can help you with personal loans, personal lines of credit, a variety of mortgage loans, and more. And we offer real-time internet banking too. See us in South Pittsburgh, Jasper, and Whitwell today. Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank Marion Countyans will ever need. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. When you or a loved one is facing a life-limiting illness, hospice care may be the answer. At Tapestry Hospice, the patient is the focus of our care. We are here to serve you and facilitate your wishes. Tapestry caregivers are concerned with managing your pain, keeping you in touch with your physician, and helping you make plans for the future. Hospice is life-affirming, and Tapestry Hospice can help you deal with all aspects of life, mind, body, and soul. Call Tapestry Hospice for more information. 706-383-8812. That's 706-383-8812. Tapestry Hospice. Redefining hope.
You don't have to be so strong.
Strength is not optional. This is my mother, my purpose. Real muscle is lifting her spirits between bedpans and bad news from doctors that doubt her strength. Strength is buried in bills, managing meds, and swallowing those moments of, Mom, it's me, your daughter. Remember? My strength is super, but I'm still human, right?
Find support for your strength. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community.
At Comfort Gallery in Kimball, you can truly shop for any piece of furniture from any of our manufacturers. Drop in today and use our in-store kiosk. It's over 40 inches of full color, completely interactive for ease of use. And yes, you can shop all of our manufacturers for virtually any piece you may be looking for. Come to Comfort Gallery in Kimball to find exactly what you need for your home using our kiosk to shop from all of our manufacturers. Free delivery and setup, 1 year free layaway, and 6 and 12 months same as cash available at Comfort Gallery, 780 Main Street, Kimball, Tennessee. Country cooking with family recipes. That's what you'll get at Howard's Restaurant, offering a full menu for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Plus an all-you-can-eat lunch and dinner buffet. They make all their homemade bread and pizza dough and sauce. Come by Howard's Restaurant for special buffets. They're open Tuesday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sunday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Howard's Restaurant in Eider, located in the old Cabbage Bowl restaurant. Catering is available. Call today, 256-657-4191.
Back now to Sheriff Talk here on KWN TV. Around the tri-state area, of course, Sheriff Ray Cross, along with Canine Officer Daisy and Sergeant Payne leaving. They got to go speak at I think, Optimus Club meeting earlier. But the sheriff, as he was just leaving, and kind of give you an update a little bit, you may have heard of a story where one of our officers picked up an individual at the truck stop in Rising Fawn, I believe, that was needing to eat, homeless type person. Brought him to the sheriff's department where they could get him some food and maybe help him a little bit. But at that point in time, they left, went outside and broke into one of the detention officers' cars, and ended up breaking into 2 or 3 other cars around Trenton before they apprehended him. They were just trying to help.
Mm-hmm.
I think I hope the officer doesn't. I mean, I think that's a great thing for what the officer did, because he was trying to reach a helping hand out to an individual that needed help.
Well, see, I mean, in the past we've helped people, but now, you can't take somebody into the jail without being booked for something.
Well, I think that's the reason he left, because he was just out front.
Out front.
They brought him out there and said, hold on, let's see if we can't get you
We'll
some
see
help.
a lot of towns, probably Trenton and Jasper, and a lot of, that's the only thing open 7/24. So, if you got people coming through, it amazes me what people will walk out, go halfway across the country and won't have $5 to their name. But and a lot of times we help them, but sometimes we blow back in their face like this, like the incidents you're talking about. So, every time you think you're trying to help somebody, sometimes it just blows up in your face and you wish you hadn't done it. But we still try to help people sometimes.
Well, you got to be able to. I mean, that was, I guess, whether that was the exception other than the
Yeah.
rule, I hope, we're
the old days, the oldest staggering into the jail and locking himself up. I can remember back when I first started, we did that. I mean, it's before the state took over inspecting jails and things. But we used to have old guys that didn't have a place to go and just lived at the jail, and they would work on the cars and work on this and that. And about once every 2 or 3 weeks, they'd go out and get plastered, and we'd pick them up on the side of the road and put them in a troll car and bring them around and put them back in bed, and then he's good for another 2 or 3 weeks. But them days are over with. We don't do that no more.
Yeah, that is going back to the Andy Griffin.
It is.
In the oldest days.
I tell people this all the time. The people like to make fun of Andy, but I said, hey, it's more. Whoever wrote those shows knew a lot about police work back in the 60s and 70s. It all started changing in probably the mid 80s. For 10 years at the Sheriff's Department, before the state got in on inspecting jails, we didn't have correction officers. Trustees run the jail. They did the booking and everything. It's just young guys that are in that business now, been in it 10 years, can't believe that when you tell them stories that happened 30, 35 years ago. But I said, we didn't know what corrections officer was for the first 15 years of my career, so things have changed.
Absolutely. I mean, they really have. Some things a lot for the
and
better.
when you book somebody in
and
the
some
jail
things
back
not.
in the late 70s, early 80s, you filled out one little card. Now we're up to like 12 sheets of paper. You had to ask them 85 health questions, and just goes on and on and on. And
Well, now it's all just about electronic. I
Yeah, it
remember
is
when we
electronic.
booked somebody, we'd have to do 3 sets of fingerprint cards. Because
Yeah.
one to go to the state,
Right.
one goes to the federal, and then one kept
remember
on
the
file
old
here.
the old wheel? You'd have
Oh
to,
yeah.
You'd have to.
That's the way I learned on.
Yeah.
squirt the ink out.
Oh,
and-
you're talking about
and roll the
messy.
fingers. And,
Especially if you had somebody real intoxicated and you was trying to book him before you got through. Everybody was covered in ink.
yeah, now it's just scans
Yeah.
and
You
do
take
it all
you
for
roll the.
You had to
It
roll
was
the
a real
fingers.
slick metal wheel, and you roll the ink on
Yeah.
there. Then you take the finger,
You
then
roll
you
it.
take the card, and if they jerked, then you had to throw that card away. Now it's all electronic. They just do your finger, and it reads it, and it says accept or reject. If it says reject, then you just wipe it off and do it again. No ink. We still have the old ink thing there. I don't think it's been used, but we use it, keep it for a backup in case the machine breaks down. But we've had those machines probably close to 20 years now. So,
wow.
but just I sit there sometimes when I look at that, and I sit there going, "Oh, these correction officers in the day, if they had to." I remember we had a toximeter machine first I ever had. You had to turn it on here, turn it on here, turn this on, do this and do this, calibrate it and everything. It took 15 minutes before it was ready to go.
And I haven't
Now
seen the
they're
new
just-
radar guns.
Yeah.
I'm sure are maybe different, but they used to have the little thing that you'd have to hit it and
Oh yeah,
put it in front of
the
your
fork.
radar. Yeah, the
little
fork.
fork to tune it.
For the tune it. I don't know. If they
First as
do
it
that
came
or not.
out, it had an alarm thing on. You could set it like for 55 and sit there and officer read the paper and
right.
alarm would go off and hit it and it must be that car. They finally outlawed that because people were getting tickets at work because radars really developed a lot, but back then it was they were that big and clumsy and in the past flashlights we bought batteries, the big batteries.
Mm-hmm.
Now everybody's got the rechargeable lights
Right.
and things, and amazing how much has happened in the last 30 years in police work.
Obviously, we had the task commissioner, and let me say this for this week, this coming, which will be Thursday, Friday, and of course the following Monday they will be closed anyway. But the Dade County Tax Commissioner, and it's all over the state of Georgia. So if there's anybody that is watching, I know there's a few folks that have KWN in Walker County. Your tax commissioner's office are going to be closed Thursday afternoon. I think they close at 3 o'clock noon at Walker. And they're going to be closed until next Tuesday morning, the day after Memorial Day. They're upgrading their software. It's called Drive Georgia. First time it's been upgraded in years and years. And this is where you go and get your tags and your registration.
Okay.
So, if you got a birthday coming up this weekend, you need to go ahead and do that. They'll be open through Thursday.
So
at
it
3
is where you
o'clock.
pay your property taxes, where
Well,
you go.
the whole thing. They
The
do
whole
property
thing?
taxes and everything, but they also issue your tags.
See, in Tennessee, you have a trustee that you pay your property tax to. Then your county court clerk, you get your marriage license, car tags. Dwight Minner's been in office over many years and does a good job, but it's different. It's funny how two different states do a little bit different in government. But
yeah, they have different elected officials doing kind of different things or whatever. We was talking about different things that happened. And when I first went to work for Phillip Street, after he taken office, we were in the old jail. Do you remember the old jail? The old jail, excuse me here just a second. But the old jail was condemned and had a federal lawsuit, so we couldn't house any prisoners upstairs. And we basically was our holding station. And if any of you might remember this, if you brought somebody in for, say, DUI, if they couldn't make bond, or if they were brought for, we would have to leg iron them to a chair in the lobby.
Oh, we leg ironed back for the jail before before we built the Justice Center. I mean, same way. We were just it was built for 25 inmates, and I've seen as many as 70 or 80.
Wow.
And we have facilities now for people that have mental problems, that threatening suicide or something. Back then, you just had a bar on the wall, and you take them out there and set them in the floor and handcuff them to that bar, and there they sat like that, the arms stand up. I can't imagine doing that today because
it's totally different. But I've seen.
I enjoy sitting around and talking about the way it was 30 years ago versus today.
Well, you're right. Most officers don't have a clue.
No.
You know.
If you've been on the force just like 10 or 12 years, you don't have a clue.
Yeah, because things have changed. Now you got pretty much. Sheriff was talking about air conditioners being on the cars. You got computers in the cars,
and we do the same thing.
Tags.
We do the same thing. In the summertime, we leave our patrol cars running because there are computers in there. And heat's the worst thing for a computer or radio or phone. You leave these phones in the car, and
it'll come back and won't work.
Yeah, it won't work and you have to. I'd run down the road and stick mine in front of the air conditioner to you.
Absolutely.
It'll cut it off, and that's one reason you see a lot of the cars running nowadays.
I was going to tell you, too, next week, Sheriff Talk will be not on. Next week, we always kick off the week after graduations. Marion County's already graduated all of theirs. Marion County, South Pittsburgh, Whitwell, Richard Hardy. Richard Hardy, I think, is actually coming up this week. This coming Friday, Cody just told me. So we'll have all of those graduations along with Jackson County, some in DeKalb and Dade County that will be showing on television over the next week or so. So next week, a graduation will be on.
That'd take a long time to run through all those.
Yeah, we'll have, I think we're doing like 16 or 18. We do it every year.
Okay.
And, of course, you got 4 there just in Marion County. And they will be shown.
Or the people film it and send it to you?
We film them.
Oh, you film them?
Yeah, we'll be, matter of fact, for all 3 of the ones on this past Saturday we've got already, and we'll start showing those. So you'll be able to watch the graduations over the next week and a half. And next week we will not be here. I guess the following week will be the first week in June that we'll be back with Sheriff Talk. So you get a week off for Memorial Day, but a graduation will be shown during our time next week or whatever. And let's wrap things up talking about Memorial Day, Sheriff, because you hit the nail on the head. You're either going to not have a lot, or you could be really busy.
A lot of problems we have is on the water. A lot of people get out on boats and get to drinking too much. I don't remember how many drownings we had last year, but my guys, we've got a nice boat at the sheriff department, and I think they're going to take it out tomorrow and test it and make sure and get it ready. But be safe on the water. Wear life preserver. Restrict your alcohol. I've seen people dying from boats crashing each other, just people showing off. You got these Sea-Doos now out here, so and I'm sure Sunday and Monday will be a busy day if the weather is as hot as it is today. There'll probably be a lot of people on the lake Sunday and Monday, so just a little bit of common sense goes a long way.
Well, I know you've seen it over the years, a lot of different things. And remember, you can be arrested for BUI,
right?
Boating under the influence. So
we don't work the water as much as the state does. I have game wardens out full force, probably Sunday and Monday. So, and those guys will get you. So be careful. Just like I said, use some common sense.
Sheriff, we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
I appreciate it.
Everybody have a safe Memorial Day weekend, and we'll have some graduations coming up in our time slot next week. So thanks for being here. Thanks for both the sheriffs and K-9 officer and Sergeant Payne for being here on the program. We'll see you in a couple of weeks on Sheriff Talk. You've been watching Sheriff Talk, live from the studios of KWN TV7, all around the tri-state area, as we give you information that you can use concerning law enforcement. Join us again next week for another episode of Sheriff Talk, a public affairs program of KWN TV7.